Hey everybody, I am back. It's 9:23, 12:23. Had to take a break, had to do chores around the house and did them. That came first. And so now I'm back. So for those of you who are tuning in again, welcome back. Welcome back. And I am setting up the watch page here. Setting up the basic info, installing the meta information. And what that is are tags. If you ever made a YouTube video, then you will understand what I mean by tagging. That's short for meta tagging. And who invented the term meta tagging? I do not know. Welcome everyone. I do know, however, that we are in for a great conversation tonight about most things Oakland sports. I've got to at some point include the Oakland A's because the A's were in an epic battle that's worth talking about. Hey, Joseph Jones, how you doing? And this is, for me, phase 2 tonight. I was already on from 9:10 to 10:40, almost 11 o'clock, and so I took a break, and now I'm back, and so back now for about an hour, and but I promised to make this hour a juicy hour, full of juicy, fruity, goody stuff. Hey, how you doing, Steve? Hey, Raider Files, how you doing? And interesting stuff and interesting news. So I'm going to assume that all of you saw the Warriors game where the Golden State Warriors won 113-91 over the Cleveland Cavaliers to take Game 2 of the NBA Finals. And among other things, Steph Curry became the first player in Warrior history to score 30 points and net a triple-double. Not bad. Not bad at all. And hey, Joseph, yeah, I said you were on. Joseph says, I didn't expect to see another vlog. And yeah, I said I was going to be back. And I'm back. And Steve was at the A's game today. 132 to 130. Yeah, I stand corrected. You're right. I don't know where I got the 91 part from. It's a long. Thank you for that. I'm going to correct that right now. 113. But 132 to 113. What is wrong with me? 132. Cavs 113. I'm glad I didn't tweet that one out. And good, I'm still safe because, technically none of this has went out other than to your notification stream. You're like, what? So, no, I corrected it. All right. So, that is corrected. And now I'm back to the live control room. And so if you refresh the screen, yeah. So, now the stream status is just okay. This is weird. It goes from good to okay. And it's like, wow. But whatever, you guys can see it. So I'm going to view it on the watch page. So, it says sync to preview player. At any rate. And I need to, whatever. 13 is watching now, welcome. Where is, I came back because I was also wondering where King Jose, 19. Calling King Jose, 19. King Jose, 19. Where are you, King Jose? Calling King Jose. Calling King Jose, 19. Where is King Jose 19 when you need him? Where is he? Hey. All right, it's King Jose 19. Is LeBron James still the best ever? Where's Rick Rice says, hey, Rick Rice, he says, no way, Jose. No way, Jose. Steve Collins says, maybe he's finally watching MJ clips on YouTube. For those of you who are new to this, King Jose is a walk-on to Michigan State. He's 19 years old, lives in San Jose. He's a big LeBron James fan, or he says he is. You know, I'm not sure if he's really a big LeBron James fan, or he just likes to troll us with the idea, not necessarily his belief, that LeBron James is the best basketball player. And I say that because when he came onto this stream of mine, he continuously said things that were contrary to the group. I mean, at that point where he was pissing people off, right? So, but once he came in line and stopped trolling, he became an integral part of the family, right? With interesting stuff to say. So, Corvette says, turn the ball over 20 times and still win by 19. Yeah, how about that? And Steph Curry almost matched what LeBron James did the first contest. But you know the difference between this contest and that contest was you had full production from the Warriors' Big Four. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green were the Big Five, and Andre Iguodala, the Big Five, okay? And that's the difference. Hey, John, how you doing? And Joseph Jones says, LeBron is the best of this era, but not the best ever. Yeah, Michael Jordan is it. John Mark says, okay, I'm back. Hey, can you imagine if someone cloned Michael Jordan and grew Michael Jordan to a point where now the grown Michael Jordan played and was, by some twist of fate, drafted by the Warriors or traded to the Warriors when he was still maybe like 17. And then let's say, you know, he's 17 and then he grows, and unlike the other Jordan that went to college. Okay, let's say he goes to college, all right? He doesn't quite fit his father's pedigree just yet. So he's a lower round pick, unlike his dad. He goes to North Carolina. Then he comes back out, is taken by the Warriors, and then suddenly goes to this growth spurt and this spark, and he becomes the second coming of his dad. Can you imagine him playing with all these other guys? Let's say that he's the sixth guy. The Warriors would be already more unbeatable. Excuse me, they're already arguably almost unbeatable. They would be unbeatable. That would be incredible. I'm going to get to that, and it's with the latest Oakland Raider news. There is a lot going on. Thursday and Friday, I issued a blog post that talked about the parking issue at the stadium. And it did so, hey Donis, how you doing? And it did so in a way that others had not. The blog post that I found referred to the new study that was released. And that study basically said that, and I'm going to go and dig it up because I want to make sure I commit myself to remembering the name of the consulting firm, okay? But I'm writing Raiders Las Vegas, and then parking at Zuni62.com. Hey, Go Warriors, welcome. How you doing? Welcome. And what I found in writing this document, which is fairly extensive, fairly lengthy, you know. What I found was that I wrote Las Vegas Stadium Authority. I wrote Raiders Clark County parking costs. Well, that was one of them. This is the other one. That's not the one. It was, let's see here. This is very recent. Here it is. Oakland Raiders Las Vegas NFL Stadium traffic study reveals new architect, same $1 billion cost. You can go to zenny62.com and find a treasure trove of information on this, okay? And what I wrote was that on Thursday, because it happened Thursday, on Thursday, Nevada officials revealed the completion of a new traffic study for the planned Oakland Raiders Las Vegas NFL Stadium. But when the Las Vegas mainstream print media published the news, it deliberately left out the 15-page executive summary of the study that was issued by the consultant Kimley Horn and Associates. Moreover, the document was not included on the Las Vegas Stadium Authority website. So I did a little internet research, all right, and I found it. And so it's in this link that I'm about to post right here, there, okay? That's it, all right? So, Adonis, I wouldn't call this progress. I would call this a problem. And I would say that what's notable about the study, and what I just gave you the link to is the blog post. Hey, how you doing? What's notable about the study, aside from its ratification of the 2016 Nevada Department of Transportation Las Vegas NFL Stadium traffic study, which I also included the same post, is and that only 14.7% of the required 16,250 spaces will be on the stadium site, leaving 13,850 parking spaces not accounted for right now. In other words, no one knows where they're going to be in the Las Vegas Valley. And it's the quiet mention that there are now two architecture firms involved, Manica and HNTB, the same organization that produced the design of the refurbished Oakland Coliseum for the return of the Raiders, all right? And so I talk about that, and I do go a little back in time, if you will, and talk about a Super Bowl issue that I'll talk about another time. It's worth saying, but Manica architects are more of a design firm than an engineering firm, and so they didn't have. And what I mean by that is, you want a firm that understands how to draw heating, ventilation, and air conditioning specs and designs and layouts for your stadium. And Manica is not that firm. HNTB is, okay? So the pairing of those two is necessary to give you a complete stadium. And that's what we're talking about here. But the other problem is that, is this, and that was very quiet, all right? Sports Business Daily reporter there had mentioned a source told him, oh, these two are pairing up. Well, I confirmed that because HNTB was the architect that called for the traffic study. It wasn't Manica, it wasn't anybody else, it was HNTB working on behalf of the Raiders. It says so. So, that's the big news right there. That's big news. That's big news. Don't know who's paying for them yet. Now, the other news is that, of course, you know about the parking issue, all right? Is that a deal stopper? No, some people think it is. I don't think it is on its surface. What I mean by that is this, that you've got 14% of the parking accounted for on site. The rest you have to find space for. There was discussion during the meetings of the Southern Nevada Tourism and Infrastructure Committee that the developers may be allowed to fill in the transportation improvements as opposed to what NDOT, the Nevada Department of Transportation wants, is to have them all done up front. Now, the end call on this really rests with the Southern Nevada Regional Transportation Commission. They are the ones that dole out the monies for road improvements and approve the plans for Southern Nevada. So they're basically can be overridden by the state, but well, that's not, in this case, that's not going to happen. They will make the ultimate call on what happens here, unless the state says, okay, you have to do this for the stadium. That's going to be an interesting can of worms, because if Clark County is so pushed, they may point to Senate Bill 24 passed in 2015, which gives them a type of home rule decision-making process, all right? So Corvette says, well, Warriors had a 2-0 lead last year. This year, I don't think they will blow it last year. I hope you're not. And Donna says, I have a question. Who proposed the idea of a dome in Las Vegas? That came from the SNTIC, or what was called Centec, and that was a long time ago. That came a year ago plus. That was pretty much at the start, because what laid the groundwork for that determination were previous studies prepared to build a stadium for Las Vegas, for UNLV. And a number of studies pointed to an enclosed stadium because it allows one to have more events and therefore more money. More money, you can pay off the stadium easier, faster. That's where that came from. Okay. So, and it wasn't Corvette, that's true, but it wasn't so much that. Okay. Corvette said you need a dome with the heat and the high winds. Well, Sam Boyd Stadium is open air, all right? And UNLV has played in an open air stadium for some time. So that wasn't the guiding reason. The guiding reason was economics. An enclosed facility makes more money than an open one. You can have big concerts in it. It was the name of it originally in the law, before the final document was written, was Large Scale Special Events Center, or Large Events Center. Not football stadium, not football edifice, nothing like that. Okay, so my point is that, and Giannis says to Davis, okayed the idea. Well, he had no say in it. He's won an open air stadium, yeah, but the way this went down, that was grandfathered in. It wasn't for him to say, hey, you know what, I don't want this. Because if he didn't want it, Adelson wasn't going to help him. Okay? And there was really no concrete reason for him to not want it, since a $750 million subsidy was planned to help pay for it. No subsidy, no dome. So there you go. But it's written into the law that it must be enclosed. You cannot override that. You cannot, if you're developing the plan, say, we want an open air option. No. It says enclosed stadium. It doesn't say retractable roof. It says enclosed. All right? So, and no, Mark Davis did not have a choice. Steve Collins says, 831 Scott, thumbs up. And no beast mode jersey for me. I will watch the Raiders on TV, but I will not give them a dime unless they stay in Oakland. Ding. Donis Giorgio says, and Davis, okay, yeah, I got that one. Steve Macy says, I wonder where a few could get open air stadiums and not go bankrupt. Any idea? Well, you can't get an open air stadium in Las Vegas under that because it's not, the law doesn't allow it. You cannot subvert Nevada Senate Bill 1. It calls for an open air stadium. It's just the way it is. Steve Collins says, why would they purchase land and not have parking in place? It's Las Vegas. Why would Las Vegas allow a hotel to be built 70 stories and the developer didn't have all the financing lined up? And so now the dang thing sits there, 70 stories tall, the Fontainebleau, it's completely empty, unused, and it looks like, somebody's teeth got knocked out. Vegas does that. Vegas is long on entrepreneurial spirit, but short on planning. Okay? Not that it doesn't do the planning, it does. It has regulations for how big parking structure should be, under what conditions of parking structure is needed, and so on, right? That's planning. Zoning, that's planning. But in terms of long range planning, like, okay, in 2019 we're going to have this, in 2024 we're going to have that, that is where Las Vegas and much of Nevada falls short, in particular Las Vegas. It's kind of hard to be an entrepreneur. You have people regulating what you can plan over the next few years. That's not what Las Vegas does. Okay? So as a result, you have hotel. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, all right? Hey, Go Warriors, is your next comment on point? If it's not on, let me know. I hope it's on point, because I'm trying to make a point here. And let's see here. See, Macy says, bad grammar is supposed to be a joke, all right? Anyway, in Oakland, it's not enclosed. In Oakland, there's no such law. You have to remember that we're talking about one city making, and municipality and government making laws on another one, all right? John Mark says, Vegas is financially bad. It's time to get a deal brokered in Oakland. Yes. Here's the thing, though, going back to the parking issue in Vegas and overall. This was done, and I remind everybody of this. Welcome to Zenny62 Live Vlog, by the way. This was done, talking about this whole stadium issue, really to block hotel money from going to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority in its entirety. Adelson has a big issue with public money being used for convention centers. He has a privately financed one, the Las Vegas, the Sands Expo, okay? That was his initial objective, and it's right there in the Las Vegas Sands document presentation to SNTIC board members in 2015. Donna says, let's see here. Go where he says, sorry about my channel name, right? Okay. Donna says, John Marks, tell that to Mark Davis. And so, hey, Go Warriors, building your channel is going to take time, and what you need to do is, send me an email and I'll send you that. I'll spend time on that. I don't want to take away from this right now. But building your channel is going to take a slightly different approach, but you're going to also, and you're starting from a really small place in terms of numbers, and you have to grow, and you have to do that. You have to be consistent, but you have to focus more on enjoying it and then the numbers. So you're starting from where I started from in 2006 on YouTube. Okay, you're starting the ground level. So I'm just saying. All right. Now, getting back to this issue regarding parking. Hey, will you all excuse me? I have to check something downstairs because I need to, just give me 1 second. I need to make sure something is a loose end is tied up. 1 minute, please. Okay. So. Okay, I'm back. All right. Sorry about that. I'm back. All right. Now, one of those points. All right, cool. Now, I'm back. So, hey, well, JP, you just joined us. Welcome. Now, here's the deal as far as what I was talking about regarding the stadium issue. That is where we are with respect to Adelson. Now, Adelson's out of the picture, yeah. All this was set up, including the parking issue, because remember, it was thought, because Las Vegas Sands representative said they're going to pay for everything. off-site. They're going to pay for the transportation off-site, the improvements. Thank you, Donis. Everything, all right? And he's gone. But this price tag is still sitting out there. It has to be taken care of, all right? So that's a big deal. Hey, thumbs up, everybody. There's 22 watching, 3 thumbs up. Thumbs up, everybody. Thanks. Steve Macy says, so at what point does the NFL step in and say we need to take a second look at this financially? It's going to be a while, I think, unless Bank of America comes in early on and says, hey, no go. The big issue right now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, is UNLV. Where are the stadium planners with the negotiations with UNLV? That's the question. And that's on the agenda for the next Stadium Authority meeting, which is June 8th. 831 Scott says, social media has so many Curry haters. I can't believe some of the stuff I read about him. He is absolutely amazing for his size, and no one in the history of the NBA can shoot the ball like him. Yeah, you know what, 831 Scott, however, I would take a look at those, if you're talking about Twitter, those accounts, and see how many followers they have. If they have follower accounts less than 200, generally they're troll accounts, okay? I'm not saying that's true in every case, because there are some people who just don't have time to build a large Twitter following. But also check and see if they are not real names. There's a greater tendency for Twitter accounts with small Twitter followings that are not using real names, okay, to make bad comments about Curry. I would ignore those. They're not substantive. Just saying. Now, and Donis, was the UNLV issue being settled? No, it's not. In fact, the Stadium Authority agenda for the next meeting is up, and I'm going to recite that, we're going to take a look at that in a moment. But the situation is that you got not just UNLV, all right? You have UNLV. Yeah, okay, I'm going to write this down, all right? Vegas. That's Vegas. You have, one is UNLV, okay? You have UNLV, LV. Then 2 is the labor agreement. That's not done. You've got the finance, you got the financing, and you have the development agreement. So those are the primary ones, okay? So those are the hey Warriors, hey Golden State Warrior, how you doing? All right. So John Mark says, I just hope the city of Oakland gets a court judge to keep the Raiders. Hey King Nate, how you doing? Yeah. So anyway, those are they're basically it's still 11 docs to be done. 12. All right. There's still 11 docs to be done of 12 total. No one's talked about labor. No one's talked about financing. All right. UNLV was going to come up. So, oh, Barry Lee's having surgery tomorrow. Oh, that's right. Yeah, pray for. That's right. Thanks. Having surgery. Monday? Wow. Is Barry Lee here? I didn't see him chime in. Is Barry Lee here? Hey Barry, if you're here or not, praying. Yeah, prayers for Barry. Rooting for you. Shout out to Barry Lee, we're rooting for you. All right? That's right. And yeah. Thank you. And thanks Golden State Raider for bringing that to our collective attention. That was really great. Thank you very much. Praying for Barry Lee. Absolutely. Absolutely. John Mark says, doesn't Mark Davis realize how this hurt his football team when moving to Vegas? I don't think that he cares, okay? But he's also so far in that I don't know that he sees a way out. I mean, look, why do you think the Raiders haven't signed a non-relocation agreement. Why do you think the Raiders are trying to stay in Oakland through 2019 and possibly through 2020? Because I'm certain that stadium's not going to be ready by 2020, no matter when the groundbreaking starts. So Steve Macy says that he doesn't think Mark Davis cares. I think Mark cares, but I think Mark is going into it, as someone said, scared to death. Because you have to remember, they haven't done this before, okay? And however, they have a roadmap in terms of others to help them. But it's not like the Raiders have efficiently planned this. This all happened really fast. I think faster even than they've been able to keep up with or deal with. And there are problems out there that some of which we're aware of, others we're not. But think of it this way. If it's true that you only know about 50% of the problems in any development project, think of the other stuff that they're dealing with that they haven't told us about. So Steve Macy says, how much do you think Mark has spent so far? On his own, I would say maybe 40 million, but I would say the vast majority is other people's money, OPM. Doesn't matter if it's Sheldon Adelson, and I would be shocked if Adelson had not given him a dime of upfront cash. I mean, of like a lot of money, like maybe 100 or 200 million. And then, of course, there's NFL Ventures, and NFL Ventures may very well have bought the land for him. You have to remember that NFL Ventures has wanted to buy land in the case of Los Angeles and in the case of Oakland and invest in development. Why would that stop in the case of Las Vegas? All right? But they can invest only so much. They're looking for a return on their investment. Okay? So Golden State Raiders says there's only a handful of true fans in Vegas. Yes. Dorian says all true Raider fans follow them 24/7 whether they're in Oakland or not. I disagree with that. 831 Scott says Vegas is not the home of the Raiders even if they get a stadium to play there. It's a huge mistake and it's going to cost Mark Davis the team. Golden State Raiders says Raiders should have just been in LA. John Marks says, well, that didn't work out. So, I mean, no. And the reason why they're not in LA is because they didn't get what they were promised. Okay? That's why they're not there. John Marks says, I really don't want the team to hurt financially, but it is what it is. Steve Collins says, that's called logo and couch fans, Dorian. Yeah, and see something else too. The black hole, as you know it, is not going to exist in Las Vegas for one primary reason. Money. The seating and the PSLs for that stadium will have to be priced to pay for the facility. And on top of that, okay, that's the first thing. Second, because as we all know, Las Vegas doesn't have a huge base to begin with. They estimate that 45% of the people visiting a Raiders game are going to come from out of town. Okay, so you're expecting out of town PSL buyers? Wow. What happens if you start running those cards and they don't pay off? What happens when the hotels jack up their prices for Raider games? So you've got the hotel cost, you've got the ticket cost, you've got concessions, food. You know, I hope you're not going to take a family of four there. Good luck with that. How is Raider Nation going to survive in terms of the black hole? Because the black hole is predicated on one thing: a group of fans being able to go to each and every game. And the only way that would happen is if that group of fans lives in Las Vegas. And the number of people that make that trek, that do what the black hole did, which is, look, a small group of folks stood up the entire game. People in the back were saying, hey, get out of the way, sit down. And eventually over time, and it took years, those folks gave way to other people who wanted to be part of that mosh pit, okay? That's going to give way to a different kind of fan. The Raider fans, if the Vegas deal pencils out, which I still can't see, but if it does, and the stadium is built and the Raiders go there, those fans are not going to be the same kind of Raider fans you're used to. Those Raider fans are going to be more like 49ers fans. They're going to be silver and black in name only. Kind of like rhinos, Republican in name only. There's an acronym there. Let's see. Silver and black in name only. Sabinos. We coined it right here, folks. They're going to be Sabinos. There it is. Sabinos. That's it. Silver and black in name only. Raiders fans in Las Vegas. Sabinos. Sabino. Coined it here, right here first. Research flat Earth. Kyrie Irving is on his. It's funny. There's always a motel. Family of 4 Raiders. Yeah, Sabino. Say it again for me. Sabino. I'm going to tweet that out. Sabino. A Sabino. Silver and black in name only. That's it. Sabino. Repeat that after me. Sabino. I like that. Sabino. Silver and black in name only. Mark the date, mark the time. That term was invented right here. I'm tweeting that. Sabino! That's right. Donis. I'm going to tweet that out. Sabino. You a Sabino, man. A Sabino. I coined the term. Right here. Well, let's see here. Well, Las Vegas, Oakland Raider fans. I'm putting this on Twitter. The silver and black in name only. Sabino. Ha ha. Hashtag Sabino. There you go. Raiders. Raider Nation. There you go. I got to find a logo for that. I'm putting this on Twitter right now. Sabino. It's like rhino. Silver and black in name only. Yeah, I'm pretty jazzed with my little acronym there. Almost ready with the tweet. And let's see here. Wondering. Boom. I got a picture of the stadium. And here we go. And it is out right now. Uploading. Ta-da! Here's the tweet, folks. Watch it right there. There it is. Sabinos, baby. Will Las Vegas Oakland Raiders fans be silver and black in name only? Sabino. Right there. Sabino. I'll follow up on that one. I think I've started something. Sabino. Too bad Barry Lee isn't here. He would retweet that one. If anybody's on Twitter, please retweet that one. Now, Golden State Raider, no, Twitter does not pay me yet. I'm working on it. I have sponsors, though. Sabino, baby. Steve Macy, Sabino, 10 o'clock. Mayor-elect coined the term Sabino. Now, Joseph Jones says, so Zinni, if the current stadium has 14% for parking, I mean the Las Vegas stadium, it's not built yet. Yeah. Then the off-site structure would have to be huge in order to cover remaining needs. Who pays for the land that big? Well, that's a good question, Joseph Jones. The Clark County regulations say that the stadium owner, the developer, in this case, let me rephrase that. It says the developer, which in this case is stadium owner, which in this case is the Las Vegas Stadium Authority, has to pay for the parking. Okay? So that's an additional cost, an additional public cost that it bears. Now, while stadium construction subsidies are capped at $750 million, that says there's no cap on transportation-related expenditures. So, all right, so there's the answer to your question. Steve Collins says, Dorian, Oakland is a culture and our hearts are being ripped out again. They belong in Oakland and nowhere else. There are no other fans like Raider fans. Oakland Raider fans. Like I said, Sabinos, man. Sabinos. Steve Macy says, I think my son has a case of Sabino. Dorian says, I've been a fan since I can remember, my father before me, so I have true love just like many around me. Yeah, and I'm not saying that you can't be a Raider fan and not live in Oakland, but when I have this conversation with people, what I think about are fans in Houston, when I was there for the NFL owners meeting plus over a year ago, who said to me, and I have this on video, we're in Houston and the Raiders belong in Oakland. They said that, okay? So, Golden State Raiders says they should pay you. They have a huge fan base. I'm trying to get it bigger, but thank you. You're right. Thank you. Thank you, Golden State Raider. Hey, believe me, man, I could use the revenue. Those little donations that people come in, they matter a lot. They really help a lot. So, John Mark says, sounds like a restaurant. Come to Sabino's Italian. It does. Come to Sabino's Italian Diner, which you could find in Vegas. Sabino's Italian Diner, which, hey, someone might, you know what? That's an interesting point. The Sabinos. Sabinos. It gives me an idea. Start a restaurant. But mark this. Barry Lee! Hey! Barry! We thought your surgery's tomorrow, right, Barry? Hey, Barry. Woohoo! Barry Lee, we've been talking about thee. Heavens are mine. Barry for president. That's right, Barry for president. Yes. And yeah, I got to work on the shareholder thing too. That's right, Golden State Raider. Thank you. And Mikey Mike 72, how you doing? Oh, Mikey Mike, I don't have time to think about that. I am so whatever. But Steve Macy says, are Niner fans raging red and gold name only? Yeah, I like that. Yeah. But let's get back to Barry Lee for a second. Hey, no, sorry, Mikey Mike. Barry Lee is going into surgery, and so I'm focused on, hey, Barry, what time is your surgery tomorrow? Joseph Jones says, I have love for all Raiders fans, but those who consistently call the city that I was born and raised in and spawn the Raiders are dumb, I have no respect for. High five. Hey, Barry, what time is your surgery tomorrow? Give us the scoop. What's going on? So, Barry is going once. Barry is Steve Macy. Good luck, Barry. God bless. Yeah. Steve Collins says, Barry, can you have someone keep us posted? Barry Lee says, yeah, they're putting a stent in. Wow, a stent. That is serious business, my friend. So Barry, are you in the hospital already? Or when do you go to the hospital tomorrow? What hospital are you going to be in? Can you share that with us? You know, what's happening? Yeah, absolutely. Prayers for you, my friend. Prayers. What's happening? Folks, I'm going to stop. I'm gonna give you a picture. It's warm up here. It's like, phew. And oh, Barry is at the hospital now. Barry is at the hospital now. Yeah, you got this, Barry. You got this, Barry. You definitely make that stint silver. Yeah, make that stint silver and black, Barry. Wow. Make that stint silver and black. John Mark says Oakland has heart and soul. Proud to be an Oakland, East Oakland man for his life. Hey, yeah, good luck, Barry. We're all with you, Barry. We all with you. And hey, Mike, you said I timed you out. I don't. What were you going to say last time? I don't remember what it was. But at any rate, Barry, I like the hashtag Barry Strong. I like that. Barry Strong, like Truck Strong. That's cool. Barry Strong. Definitely. Hey, say the Lord's Prayer, man. I'm telling you that gets me through many a day. Yep. Barry says, thanks. Have to go. Really good meds kicking in. You got it, man. Mikey Mike says, not important. Donut says, 10 a.m. Dallas time. Yeah, is that Central Standard Time you're going in? So he's in the hospital. Barry is in the hospital. Mikey Mike, forget about your issues. And this man is going for heart surgery. And to show you how insensitive you are, you're only talking about your stuff and not wishing this man the best on something that is central to his life. I don't care whether you like my channel or not. If you like my channel, be part of us and give your condolences to this guy rather than what you're doing. It's not all about you. Okay? And you're really starting to annoy me really fast. So give Barry Lee your best wishes and forget about me. Will you please do that? If you can't, I'm happy to block you. All right? All right. You say you don't care what's going on? I just told you what to do. I'm giving you one. I just told you again. Give the man your best wishes. If you can't do that, I will remove you. That is what's going on. Okay? Please do that. The man is going into heart surgery. Okay? Jesus. Okay. Well, all right. Thanks. I'm glad he's gone. That's ridiculous. See, folks, there's some people who are so into themselves that they can't. Barry Lee's going in to have a stent put in his heart. This guy doesn't care. It's all about his little bitty microscopically tiny issues that have nothing to do with nothing. Like the value of life. Someone putting food on the table. Nothing like that at all. Okay? Take that someplace else. Not at my channel. This man, one of our family members, is going in to have a stent put in his heart. He's already in the hospital. He was kind enough to reach out to us to let us know the status of his life-altering surgery. And yet you come in with this BS. This says nothing good about you. Oh, I can't believe it. Yeah, pray for Barry Lee. This man's going in for open heart surgery, have a stent put in. Do you understand what that means? Okay? Wow. I mean, wow. John Mark says, Barry, we know you will survive, and you have strong heart and soul of all of us. Barry Lee's strong. Yep. We pray for you, man. Yep. We got you. Definitely. Definitely. Hey, Barry Lee, did you see Wonder Woman by chance? If that doesn't give you inspiration, I don't know. I came out of that movie, I was ready to fly, man. That was awesome movie. Great movie. Hey, good night, Steve Macy. I'll see you. I'm gonna bow out at 1:30. But I wanted to, talk about that parking issue and get that in. And that news about Barry's just got me broken up. That's wow. Wow. He's on special medication. I think he's even on I think he said nitroglycerin. And yeah, John, I think, I read about that. Linda Carter, John Mark says, I wish Linda Carter had a cameo in the film. And yeah, that would have been great, but I think they couldn't make their schedules line up. And Linda Carter was very classy about it because she realized that this was really Gal Gadot's moment, and she didn't really want to take that away from her. Steve Golden State Warriors saying, can you talk about the Warriors' 20 turnovers, Zinni, yet they blow out Cavs? Yeah, I can talk about that. And I think, and I just want to read this. Benjamin West says, positive prayers and all positive vibes coming your way, Barry Lee, you'll be healed. And Donis, hey Barry, are you on Facebook? Donis asks, JP from the rep says, beautiful. Raider Fly says, prayers for Barry. Ruben Ortiz, hey, how you doing? Just in time, man. I'm stopping at 1:30. You came just in time. Hey, Ruben, give Barry Lee your best wishes. He's going in for open heart surgery in the morning. He's already in the hospital. He's kind enough to reach out to us from the hospital. And he's in Dallas. And he goes under the knife at 10 o'clock in the morning. So give him your best wishes, please. So Barry's on Facebook. Barry, you're under Barry Lee. Central Texas. Oh, Barry's going to the Central Texas Medical Center. All right, that's where he goes. But Radio Kuko says, we'll play for Barry. I work developing stents. Wow, small world. He says, it's not an open heart surgery. Thank you for correcting me. He says, it is a transcatheter procedure done through the femoral artery in the leg. Okay, that already just gave me a new medical degree I didn't have. I'm repeating that. Radio Kuko says, we'll pray for Barry. He says, I work developing stents. It is not open heart surgery. It is a transcatheter procedure done through the femoral artery in the leg. That sounds like that's a fancy way, Radio Kuko, of saying they stick some sort of long thing up his leg that goes up through here, right? Is that right? Oh, is that what I'm getting? So Emma Scott, John Marks says, praying for Barry Lee. Radio Kuko says, Barry might get one of the stents that I helped develop. Wow, what a small world. Hey, Barry, so you're be made bionic thanks to Radio Kuko. I'm just kidding. So, Golden State Raider says, Barry Lee will see you in the Cine 60-day bomb. Yep, that's right. Barry Lee says, they do stick a long thing. Okay. And Golden State Raider says, tomorrow. Memo Scott says, prayers are up for you. Ruben Ortiz, prayers all night for Barry and his family. I'll say a special prayer for you tonight. And I second Ruben Ortiz in that as well. And Barry Lee says, it's his fifth stint. Your fifth stint? My Lord, man. Wow. Barry Lee says, the $6 billion man. Boy, talk about inflation. Yeah. Radio Kugo says, that's correct, Zinni. Okay. So, yeah, thank you, Radio Kugo. So, basically, this is really cool. This is valuable information. Look at all the information you get just right here. He's basically saying that he's putting a kind of a long, and Barry's had this before, but it goes up his leg and then out through here. And one moment, please, I got to plug in because Barry's got to get some sleep. We got you back, Barry. We got you. We got you, and Barry, and you got this, okay? And you got this, okay? I mean, think of the great weekend this is happening on. You have Wonder Woman film coming out, One Manchester. I mean, you got all this love in the world, man, focused on you. So, Barry Lee, we believe in you, as Golden State Raider says. And John Marks says, okay, Barry, you take care and God bless. That's right. Steve Collins says, good night, big guy. I second that. And I have a dream about that friend of yours on YouTube, Barry, that we're going to make guest one of these days soon. I got to reach out to her. So that's going to be something. So, to say the least. Wow, that's so. Radio Kuko, that's how long does it take for him? Let me ask you, Radio Kuko, how long does it take for him to recover from that sort of thing once he's had it? Or does it matter? He has had his fifth stint. Is it more like? I mean, it's not like a spark plug change or anything, is it? I mean, how does that work? Steve Collins says, thanks for letting us know, Barry. Absolutely. Just curious as to how that works. Joshua says, hello, Raider family. How you doing? Hey, very well. How you doing, Joshua? Barry Lee is going in for open heart. Well, I keep saying open heart. Sorry, Radio Kuko. He's going in for a... Radio Kuko gave me the proper term. It's a stent. but the proper term for it is it is he's going in for a transcatheter procedure done through the femoral artery in the leg. Okay, so I'm copying what he told me. All right, and I'm writing Barry Lee is getting a transcatheter procedure done through the femoral artery in the leg. That is the proper term, thanks to Ritakuko, and that's what I just copy pasted. Yeah. Zinni says, the Cavs played great, yet gone blown out. Yeah, and I'll get back to that. All right, and I guess Barry will tweet, but anyway, let me get back to that. The reason why the Warriors were able to have 20 turnovers and yet blow out the Cavs is because their big five down the stretch performed well. Remember the first contest, Klay Thompson didn't perform well at all. Kevin Durant just had the game of his life. But Klay Thompson was weak. And also, remember Draymond Green as well. But all of the Warriors players, all their Warriors big five, they had double minutes and double points. And so that made the difference right there. And also, all the turnovers, they may have been 20 turnovers, but Steph Curry had almost 50% of them. He had 8 turnovers, okay? And so, he had 7 turnovers. I stand corrected. He had 7 turnovers, all right? So, of all the turnovers, you could say that the person who had the most was also one of their big five that was making the big plays. So they were able to overcome those mistakes, and he was able to overcome his own mistakes. He was hot at the three line, and that overcame the turnovers. The Warriors have been notorious for having games where they've had high turnover rates, but the threes quite literally get them out of trouble. That's there you go. All right. So, the pressure's on the Cavs. Green was in foul trouble. The pressure's on the Cavs. I don't care what happened last year. Rita Kuko says in some countries the patient goes home the same day. Talking about, he says it's minimally invasive procedure. Most likely will go home the next day. So Barry's he's in the hospital. He has the surgery tomorrow. So according to Rita Kuko, he's going to more than likely go home on Tuesday. So yeah. KD for MVP. I think KD is on his way to MVP. Golden State says if Warriors win one game on the road, it's over. Yeah. It's they've got to win. If they win the next 2 games, forget it. So Joshua agree. Thank you. Thank God once again. Prayers for Barry. Thank you. And KD or Curry for MVP. I think it's going to be KD. Kevin Durant. I really. And John Marks has the Warriors in a sweep, as we know. Warriors. I'm going to let me see if I missed any other questions that people might have. ML Scott said Barry does he have a way to check on you and your advisors for your status? A Twitter message. So yeah, I can message him on Twitter. And let's see here. Benjamin West says Barry, we are not alone. We are all here for you. And so Barry is off to sleep. So there, he is off to sleep. And so Golden State Raiders says Warriors are dominant and they look hungry, thirsty for a championship. Yeah, but what about those fans getting in that fight, man? I was looking at that, right? That was weird. Joshua says, I'm a Sacramento Kings fan, but shout out to the Warriors. That team is incredible. Yeah, but that was a weird fight. It looked like there was some guy in blue that was going over and trying to say something to one of the Cavs. And these Warrior guys stopped him, and this other guy dressed in this like kind of Tommy Bahama shirt got kind of hyper aggressive. And the security guy comes over, and because he's hyper aggressive, you ever see some people they're hyper aggressive, and then one person is hyper aggressive, so the other person feels like that person has to match his hyper aggressiveness for some strange reason. That's an amazing phenomenon in life. Anyway, yeah, Golden State Raiders says I saw that. Joseph Jones says I want the Warriors to celebrate on the Cavs floor like they did to us. Yeah, exactly. John Mark says it happened 2 years ago. Joseph Jones. Yep, yeah, sure did. Yeah. Golden State Raiders says when LBJ was walking by. Oh, LeBron James. When I see LBJ, I think of Lyndon Baines Johnson. He was president of the United States during the late 60s. Middle to the late 60s. But anyway, Golden State Warriors says post game. LBJ, as opposed to LeBron. In fact, there'll be a law against that. Don't call him LBJ. LBJ. Lyndon Baines Johnson. Has anyone watched House of Cards, by the way? A little bit of LBJ and Francis Underwood, who actually is Francis Urquhart from the original House of Cards, which you must see. It might be around here on YouTube. I mean the 1991 version, 1990s version. Watch that one. Not to take anything away from this House of Cards, but that House of Cards, whoo, car bombs all over the place, man. Crazy. So it's 124. Steve Collins says LBJ took over for JFK. That's right, he did. And LBJ got us into the Vietnam War even more. John Mark says, what are your thoughts about LBJ as president, Zinni? Well, he gave us the Great Society programs. He gave us many of the programs that have shaped our modern culture that, sadly, some Republicans have spent much of their career lifetimes trying to get rid of for reasons I don't understand. But the Great Society programs were possible during a Palm Americana. We had the wealth to pay for them, and we still need them, Medicare, Medicaid. Now, here's an interesting fact. The Community Development Block Grant Program wasn't LBJ who established the war on poverty. No, that was actually Nixon. That was a Nixon policy. Yeah. So, there is only one LBJ, that's right. And Golden State Radio says, Thurston Thompson on Kardashian curse. There could be. Donna says, quite correctly, he also gave us Vietnam. Yes. Oh, it was a question. Yes. LBJ, well, he didn't, let me correct myself. He didn't give us Vietnam. Really, JFK gave us Vietnam. But LBJ escalated Vietnam. LBJ was the person who really turned up the heat at the time where historians believe that JFK would have gotten us out, but definitely would not have ramped up our involvement in Vietnam. But LBJ did that. LBJ was the person who did that. But Vietnam started with the Kennedy administration. It started with Bob McNamara and the feeling that we were getting into something that was eminently winnable, in an area that we could conquer, and he and others really misdiagnosed the situation in Vietnam, thinking that they were primitive grass people, basically, and we got our what's handed to us, and rightfully so. So, yeah. And John Mark said Vietnam War started after the Korean War. That's right. Harry. Hey, Harry. Oh, yeah, technical difficulties. Yeah. I was answering your question. I apologize. I said, Harry, you're around. And I'll say that again, and I'll close out with this, and I'll take a little bit of time. It'll go over maybe my 130 markets 127, but John is a friend of mine. I texted him when I got the news on the social media, and yeah, Donis, it did start with Truman, Kennedy, but then Johnson really escalated it. But I digress. Talk about the Vietnam War. But I'm now we'll reach to Harry. Yeah, and so thank you, Golden State Reader. But at any rate, Harry, I texted John and asked him, and John told me he's under contract with ESPN, but John Clayton wasn't fired, and I need to write a blog about it. He wasn't fired. He was reassigned to radio. He's still with ESPN, but with ESPN Seattle where he lives. I really feel for John because he's taking care of his wife who has multiple sclerosis. And when I was on my way to the NFL annual meeting, some of you may remember an interview that I did with him. He happened to be at the gate in San Francisco, having flown down from Seattle, transferred in San Francisco to Phoenix, and on my flight. His wife is largely confined to a wheelchair. And so I waited to see if he had any help, just even moral support, because they had to bring the wheelchair on and, get her off there, and you have to wait for other people to clear out so she has the ability to go out from, Economy Plus to go out of the plane. And So he's got a huge responsibility that hopefully ESPN is helping him take care of. I He said his contract goes through 2020. I don't know how that pay scale goes out. I hope that they have some sort of arrangement for him because I don't know how much he was making a year. In fact, you know what? Someone else asked me that. Right. And yeah, when I asked him about the Vegas issue, that was then. And what I like about John is that of all the reporters, John was the only person who respected my time in the city of Oakland and asked me questions about the city and or would just listen to me explain things. And to me, John Creighton is a real journalist. Okay, he has his idea about how things are going to go based on his information, but he also listens to your information, and he doesn't diss you. Me, okay, and a lot of people have done that who were part of that, so-called, whatever, and he's not one of them. I have the greatest respect and admiration for my friend John Clayton out there for that reason. He's a delightful person. So yeah, so so yeah, and so he's a great guy. Now, in terms of his salary, I don't know, and I don't know that let me see what is posted here. I don't know how that goes here. Let's see here, ESPN. Salary. Let's see here. Okay, whoops, excuse me. Let's see, the highest paid man at ESPN earns $6.5 million a year. All right. This was as of September 30th, 2015. All right. It says the highest paid man at ESPN earns $6.5 million a year. This is from Bro Bible, which is $2.5 million more per year than he made in the NFL. And it says that let's see here. The person who gets paid the most is, let me see here. John Gruden gets $6.5 million a year there, but when it comes to salary, they do keep them closely guarded. I have no idea what Clayton is making at all. I mean, the Gruden thing is different, and I don't know. There's a lot of BioWiki, and so yeah, I have no idea what this is. Something about, I saw something here. Contract is worth $17.5 million. That was April. Oh, he's talking about the Seahawks. Okay, not John. So I don't know. They don't. That's not something that they really broadcast. Okay, you have to guess at it, and I don't know what the answer to that is. I only hope that, I mean, whatever it was, whatever it is I mean, I'm gonna take a guess. Okay, I'm gonna take a guess that maybe it's $500,000. All right, and I'm gonna take that guess, just that he's on television and doing that. I'm gonna take a guess. It's probably in that range, maybe 400,000, 500,000. Okay, somewhere in there. But hopefully he's got some money stocked away, and I think so. But even then, he should land on his feet someplace else, because he's got more NFL respect than any other media person I know of. When he's at the owners' meetings, the owners and their reps and the staff, they come to him. Everybody knows him on a first name basis. You can see Jack Del Rio in my interview, and the group interview at the NFL AFC Coaches Breakfast. Obviously, very familiar with John Clayton, so he's one of the senior Dean writers. My longtime friend Mike Silver, Peter King of Sports Illustrated. You know, there's a set of them. Jason, you know, Jason Cole. There's a set of them. So, excuse me. And I knew it. You know, there's a set of them. Okay, and so basically, there you go. All right. So all right, it's 1:33. I think John Gruden is worth it. But it's 1:34, folks, and I'm going to sign off and go to bed and bid everybody adieu. I have done a lot of hours tonight of live stream for me. Well, since Friday. And I will see you all tomorrow, okay? Good night, everybody. Good night. I say, good night, good night. Good night. Good night, all. Thank you. I'll see you guys. See you. Hey, thanks, Harry. Hey, Harry, I hope that answers your question. See you. And you bet your last money it's all going to be a Sabino gas honey. I had to throw that one in. All right. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good night. I'll see you guys. Good night. Good night. Good night. Don't forget the thumbs up on the way out. Good night if you haven't already. Thank you. Thank you all. See you guys later. See ya.